Hello and welcome to the AstroPub. My name is Paul Berserker01 Batman Shelley, your humble host and space bartender here at the pub, your space bar at the end of the universe. This is the Captain's Table. The Captain's Table is a podcast where I bring people from all over the Star Citizen universe to talk about Star Citizen in terms of news, lore, updates, theory crafting. You know it. You talk about the game. We've been going now for 8 years. And we're, I think, the second oldest Star Citizen podcast that still exists. And it's funny because I've heard some people say that, oh, well, if this is based off your views, if this is the second oldest, then, you know, Star Citizen's in trouble. It's like, my brother in Christ, just because I'm old doesn't mean I'm popular.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
Ain't that the truth?
But anyways, welcome to the Captain's Table. Before we get started, I'm going to introduce both of our guests. I'm going to start with Mr. Moon himself. He is the Moon. That is just him. That is a live stream. That is his actual face. Mr. Red J, who are you? What do you do in Star Citizen? And where can they find you?
So my name is Red J. Hello to those who know me. Hello to anybody who is surprised to see a moon here. I do YouTube content for Star Citizen. I cover lore. I cover analytics for new ships, different areas. One of the things I've recently got in past couple of years now, been deep into exploring new areas like the jump gates and other things like that. If you ever want to check me out, it's YouTube/C/RedJ. And I'm also active on Discords and Reddits, of course, like everyone here. And I'm glad to be here to chat with y'all.
Awesome. And then we've got the ever awesome, ever fearsome, the facemaker herself, Miss Buster the Destroyer. Who are you? What do you do in Star Citizen? Where can they find you?
Hi, my name's Buster Destroyer. I always lately what I've been saying on my own stream is typically I'm a Star Citizen streamer, but lately I'm a cowboy. I'm girl, you're a cowboy now. I've been playing RDR too.
You've been doing a lot of open world games, which is cool. It's been watching.
Yeah, I played Oblivion. Somebody suggested I play Skyrim too soon, probably after RDR. I've been really enjoying just like getting back into a couple single players and finishing them.
Ooh.
Yes. you know what you would like? Even though I know you're a Star Trek fan, you would probably like Star Wars Outlaws. That would be a game that you would really be able to sink
maybe. I do like adventure and stuff like that. So, and I love, I'm a big fan of Mass Effect. Anyway, but yeah, so I haven't been playing as much Star Citizen lately. I'm sorry. I'm trying. I try so hard.
I haven't either.
I've been nonstop for years. Okay, give the girl some time.
It's been great watching you play Oblivion. It's been fun watching you play Oblivion because it's like I haven't played this game in a while, and seeing your take on it, which is just this like super.
I'm the queen of all the murderers.
Yes.
I'm the arrow queen. And I'm there.
Arrow Queen.
But anyway, so twitch.tv/Buster Destroyer, blah 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 blah. Sorry. And the thing is though, I am very particularly I try not to toot my own horn too much, but I'm pretty good at making faces on the character creator, baby. So I'm here to talk about that. Because I have to say I've made so many dudes. I have to, because if I say, "Oh, I've done so many guys,"
it doesn't matter either way. That's both funny.
Right, but like I've made so many more men than I have women.
Yeah,
and I have like I feel really excited about some of the stuff that came out on ISC this week, and I have reasons. So
yeah,
I'll shut up and we can start the show.
Well, I called this show this episode "Style Over Substance" or style and substance, not over substance, because I personally think that all three of us agree that style is very important to Star Citizen, not only because of telling stories in the game, but being an MMO. I cannot underestimate the importance of style. The long time joke, which is not a joke, I don't think. I think it's a good just rule of thumb for game developers. So if you're an aspiring game developer, somehow finding this random Star Citizen podcast, the rule of thumb I would say for any live service game is style is the end game. Fashion is always the end game. And if you do not give your players fashion, you're going to regret it because no one's going to stick around. And with that in mind, we need to talk a little bit about how Star Citizen does that right now. Because last time I had Red J and Buster on, we talked about this. And I think it was just before 3.23 went live or just after 3.23. I think it was just before.
I have to look.
It was.
It was right around. It was either one or the other, right on the other side of it.
Yeah.
Just on the other side of it.
So,
whatever side it was.
So I'll start with you, Buster, since you're the last one to introduce yourself. Based off of, since our last conversation, how do you feel about how Star Citizen currently does customization, both in terms of characters and in terms of things like ships or armor, just the general like the way you can customize your character?
I think there's a lot of like armor sets to get out there, and things like that. Like there's plenty of stuff in the game and then there's more like all the time. Certainly would like to see like more of certain types of things. And we have gotten some of those. Like, we used to have a lot of utility based stuff. And then eventually we did start getting some high fashion or some higher fashion, at least, in places like Orison. And whereas you have like more utility at Lorville, Microtech can kind of be very high fashion too, but has, but Orison even also has like some work, it's kind of a mix in game. Ship customization. I have seen some discourse lately, and when I say discourse, I don't mean it like in this, but just discussion, I guess is the better word, about I've seen people say like why should I care about the character creator so much when like I want ship customization, I care more about that. And I think that's pretty valid, but at the same time, like I feel like we'll get into more of that later, but at the end of the day, it's skins or money. And money or skins. All right. But I'm not saying that's wrong or right. It's just the fact at the moment. Sure, would I like more ship customization? Yeah. And would I like more variety in the paint colors that are available? Yeah. Would I like to maybe even like I would pay like a couple bucks to make my own paint color? Sure. But I understand like the want to kind of unify aesthetics to some degree in certain ways, or direct art as it were. But yeah, and then like and then finally with character customization, like the tool. I like, as it said before, like we'll go over it as we get into it, but like as overall, like I've felt the limitations of it because I've done so much of it. I think I put in like a pretty solid 40 hours total on just characters. And I got to the point where I could do one in less than 30 minutes. So that tells you how many I've made. Like I've made a lot. Like I made over like 100 people in the community and stuff like that. So there's a lot to get into, like subject by subject. But overall, like I felt the limitations, and there are some things I'm really excited that are coming along, particularly stubble.
We'll talk about this a little bit as well, because like things wanted to add. But I'll ask the same question for you. Just a good starter, Red J. How is your opinions on customization in Star Citizen? How has that changed since the last time we talked? Either on the character creator, the armor, or ships, in general. How custom, you can make your own style in Star Citizen.
I wanted to nod in chat, Maverick mentioning clothes over spacesuits, and yes, we all know we all really want it because that would greatly add utility and practicality to dressing up in fashion and such. But on the bigger topic, I gotta say, one of the biggest things for me with character creator, I'm not making a whole bunch of different ones. I make my own, and I've basically made my character, and then every single PTU, I click. So I upload my save, I hit go, and I don't have to redesign the character every single build, which is a massive, massive thing. So I can
huge win.
Yeah, you can be custom, you can be yourself, and you can also just get the heck in the game and kind of that takes a big chunk of time back to me to test it's you don't have to play that game of do I want to be NPC 1001 or like
it opens the simple possibility of consistency. It opens the wide possibility of greater play.
Absolutely. And I mean, back to, I think Buster gave a nod to the different places. I'm not going to rehash that, but I do like that each planetary landing location in Stanton has its own style. They do have their own benefits and drawbacks to their style and fashion. They do have some utility. I personally spend a lot of time in New Babbage, so going to the Commons and seeing clothes for colder weather wear makes sense, and it really feels right. Or going to
Yeah.
Orison, I treat it like a vacation going to Orison. On certain builds, I'll spawn there and set my home there. And getting like the shirt, it feels like a Hawaiian shirt. It's like an Orison space platform is the shirt I like the most.
Mhm.
You know, like I do little things like that, and then layering. One of the biggest things I wish they would do more of is open the jackets. So there's a few different jackets I really wish they would allow me to
Had
change
different
them up.
states.
Yes, like
Oh,
like you,
that's so. I've never thought about that.
yeah. There's like that's like an
Ah,
easy win. They're already modeled those jackets. It shouldn't be that hard to just
Norton,
create
you're
like
a genius. Sorry.
so like look down, PIT, look down and do the wheel and literally just open the jacket, close the jacket would be a huge, 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 huge win for me anyway. Um, one last thing, ships wise, I think one of the biggest things for ships is like when we finally get the suit lockers to work, I hope they
Mhm.
do something similar for clothing, so both suits and armor and such, and then on the other side clothing. I I feel like there's going to be a massive change in like how people view clothing. Right now, it's kind of a pain, especially
Yeah.
with the new inventory restriction where you have to be at a storage location or you have to physically grab the item. I think if you have those suit lockers on ships you use day to day as your daily drivers, you'll be able to just yank it out and go. And hey,
Yeah.
I'm going to switch out to hazmat gear. I'm going to switch out to, zero G equipment. I think people will be more considerate of that.
All right.
No. I will say in my own experience, I think I'm pretty sure it was before our last one was before the 3.23 went live, because I don't think we knew that we would be able to save all of the files yet. I think it was pretty like they had just done the IAE about it, and they were kind of mentioning that kind of stuff. So yeah, so I think the one thing I will say is I was very surprised. I was not expecting them to have the character save situation and import. That has been a game changer in terms of anything you want to do. It makes life so much easier. And that small little feature, not even just the export, just to be able to save and then be able to import it into a new file, that allows for people to actually care about their looks, because no one wants to redo it over and over and over and over and over and over again, because that's just a pain in the butt. And once it starts to matter, it matters. So I will say that has been a huge improvement. I will say overall the customization, CIG did release a bunch of new armors, and the one thing I love about this is that the styles, the style of the Dusters armor that they've come out with, the ideas of like these like legendary armors and such, giving some more style to a region is fantastic, and it's something they've been working on. And seeing the armors they've done for at least,
They've-
it's not in game yet.
Fire rats.
They started doing it, and then they've only done it like more and more and more and better over the last
Yeah.
couple of years, especially. It's been
Um,
really cool.
But it's stuff we've
For sure.
seen for Pyro, for like
Right.
the headhunters and the Rough and Ready and Xenothreat and Citizens for Pyro. All of their kind of outfits are starting to kind of align a little bit, and you're starting to see them, which is important. The theater kid in me is like, costuming. You're getting the right costume, because people need to know like
I mean,
who
this is
who
the kind
from a
of game,
glance.
though.
Yeah.
It's a good comparison because, like, I always liken games to theater
Mhm.
rather than movies, because I think they really can be theater. And the thing is like this is the kind of game, like if a group of people got together and wanted to stage the Tempest,
Mhm.
which would be the perfect freaking play to
Yes.
do in Star Citizen. But like you could do the Tempest in Star Citizen. You could do the Barber of Seville. You could do like if you had the right people, if you had people together that had those talents in the right group of people, you could do it. That's the greatest thing about the game.
We just need portable lights.
Please, yes.
Like all is possible, including blowing up arrows with gurneys. But that's when I do Batgirl stuff. But
We do have portable lights on the pride of our list. Oh yeah, but we'd be able to purchase them. There, Darsh. Yeah, I agree. I think that is the case because games are improv theater in terms of everything because
so costuming matters.
Yeah.
Like
you need
the
to be able
way
to see
things
everything.
look, the environments, the stages. Like even you could even talk about customization of like what do you call it? It's like places down
Mhm.
the line. Like this could be a thing that includes like architecture,
Mhm. And
you know.
and that's very important because in a gameplay sense as well, you need to be able to notice what you're looking at from a distance because often
There's
like
some there's some really theatrical places in this game.
oh yeah.
Like,
Orson. We've talked about Orson. Orson is a. I joke that it's the scene of every anime rom-com, high school rom-com you've ever seen, but it really is. It's
you know what it is about Orison? You know what it is? Levels.
Yeah.
Levels. Like I could see a house at Orison having a conversation pit.
Yeah.
Levels.
Well, it's that, and it's the color choices, the pastels.
Yeah.
It's the sort of very soft.
It matches the sky. Yeah.
Yeah. It matches.
Yeah.
It's all about they understood CIG's.
They understood how to brand a gas giant.
Yes. They understood the assignment when it came to like lighting, like how lighting affects everything in there, and that's one of the things that in theater you learn so much. And yeah, it's important in movies and theater, or movies and TV shows, but you have complete control over lighting in movies and control, and even what direction people are seeing you in. But as we're saying, theater, you have no control over which direction an audience member is seeing you in. They could be seeing you from the back. They could be seeing you from the front. They can see you from way up high. So you have to make sure that everything looks good at all angles in the lighting you have. And so they did a really good job of that sort of thing. So I always say they have done a very good job at leaning into their strengths and really starting to nail down the distinctiveness, because you're going to need to be able to know at a glance that's a headhunter, that's a citizen for Citizens for Prosperity, that's a Rough and Ready. You need to, because if you don't know who they are and you walk up on them and you don't have a good reputation, they may just start shooting at you. So that's
or you may shoot at the wrong person.
Yeah. And then you're wanted by Hurston because you accidentally hit one of their security officers in a mission.
Oh, they're fascists.
Yeah, they are.
I don't like them. Hurstonians. Well, not the Hurstonians, the Hurstons.
The Hurstons themselves.
Yeah. Hurstonians are different matter.
What was I going to say? Oh, the next one. Let's talk a little bit about the character creator specifically. Red J, I'll start with you on this one. We did just get an ISC about character creation in terms of like the improvements. Was there anything that stuck out to you in terms of the character creator stuff that they're doing?
Real life, I don't have any tattoos. In real life, don't have any piercings. But those two things certainly stuck out to me, and they made it feel more real. And in a game, I think people want to live the fantasy of a game that's like hyper fun, like hyper. There's some fancy word, I'm sure, but the point is that you want to be standing out. Before this stream, we were talking about like bright colors and such, and I'm not going to steal Buster's thunder, but I think a little bit of that is like the flash, in that I feel like these can make people kind of express themselves and show that flash in general, and they're kind of filling in the gaps. So I really appreciate those.
You're a villain, all right, but you're not super. Yeah, what's the difference? Presentation, that sort of thing. That you got to have that flash, and I agree with you on that one. Buster, your thoughts on the stuff, the changes they've showed off to the character creator?
Wait, the one the thing that takes their shirts off? What?
No.
What? What did you say?
The thoughts on the character creator, the changes that they're making with the character creator.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Buster is thinking about shirtless men again.
No, I never wear shirts in game. This is like Buster lore. This is like deep cut Buster lore. I if you see me wearing a shirt in Star Citizen, like it's either because I'm trying to achieve something very specific or something's wrong.
So if she's wearing a shirt in Star Citizen, she's under duress.
Check
Just know
on
that.
me.
Yeah.
Check on me. I like to do the jacket with no shirt thing. I think it's cool. But anyway, but yeah, so the thing is that I was really excited about Stubble. Like I said earlier, I was super excited about Stubble. Now I know that many of you are going, Buster, you seem like a lady person. Why would you be so excited about men's stubble? Well, let me tell you. The reason is because I have, like I said earlier, have made so many men in the community. And here's what I need from the character creator overall. I need a, like you ever heard build a bear workshop?
Yeah.
You could have build a beard, okay? Where I get to decide the different aspects of the beard.
You could have just left that. You want to build a bear workshop in Star Citizen, and I would have still understood it. So,
right, but
just build a bear. Because how many Star Citizen men are bears in reality? It's a little bit of LGBTQ joke there.
Yes. A cutesy one, very demure. How cutesy of you. But the thing is the reason I want to be able to build a beard is because, like, I can't tell you how many times I felt extremely limited by the beard selection, because they'll have so many of them where the mustache is connected, and there's been like so many guys that I've made that I'm like, they have a mustache and a beard, but they don't have them connected like a wrestler, or a cowboy, but they'll have like the thing, and then maybe something here, or like some chop or what. And chopping but you can't mix and match there. And I want it like in RDR2. Ooh, by the way, my Arthur, he is so dashing. He has like the perfect outfit in fictional Louisiana. It's wonderful.
Does he have the
crimson? He's like it's like I thought of like the vampire movie with Tom Cruise.
Yeah, Interview with the Vampire.
Where they're like Cajun vampires. I love that shit. But sorry.
By the way, you should watch the TV show. They remade it as a TV show.
Oh, I've heard that's a pretty good show. But anyway,
it takes place at turn of the century Louisiana too. So
I love crimson in like Louisiana. I don't know why. But anyway, like the thing being is I would really like to be able to have more control over the like exacts of the beard. Like I want to separate mustaches and full and like beard and like this. I want more option. I want a Star Trek one, like the little Spock point, things like that with the little mutton chops, whatever they're called. But all that stuff, like I want like a deeper control. Like I want to be able to like mix beards like a DJ. Like you got a long beard. This one's got braids. To
have more statuses, right? So be able to have more like granular control.
Yeah, like it would be cool, but I understand like the convenience of just making looks and like kind of figuring it out from there. But please, CIG, let me mix and match beard stuff and facial hair, because that would be really helpful to get the most accurate with some of their beards. I care about your beards, okay? Gosh. Finally, I've admitted it. I care about your beards. I want them to be happy. I want them to look right. Anyway, I'll shut up now.
You're good. So anything else, or is that just that one?
That was my beard rant.
I will say I'm very happy for the hairstyles. I am by no means an expert at different hairs, but I do love the cheeky side of when they were starting the hair customization talk. They immediately showed all of the the black hair, the like the dreads and the braid, the cornrows and stuff like that. That's more and it's a huge difference to me, at least. It was a difference.
Oh my God.
I tried to reach out to Fastcart to get him on, but Fastcart wasn't paying attention. So
texture was on point and so amazing.
It
I'm
looked,
super excited.
to me, it looked a lot better. And then I found it was cheeky because they showed it off, and then they immediately went to everyone's favorite hairstyle, which is, you know, the mullet. Business in the front, party in the back. And we're like, we
That's
got
a good
mullets
mullet
now.
too. Like
That's a good
they
mullet.
made it.
Yeah.
That's a good mullet cut. Like that is an excellent mullet cut.
Uh,
Good job. I don't know who's like designing hair at CIG, who all is doing it, but that's a great mullet. That's the mullet team deserves like mullet wigs. You know?
It is
Like,
not they did not half-ass that mullet at all.
And literally, like, I would take those mullet wigs to a hairdresser and be like, can you get it as close to the like this as possible? Like this real shaggy, fun mullet. I like the shaggy bounce mullet, you know, it's the best mullet.
Building on that a little bit, they did show a little bit of hats under long hair.
They did.
It seemed like they were much cleaner, and it looked really good.
I noticed that too.
I like the twin braids they did, because I don't think they have a lot of braids in there, and braids as
they were pretty.
Yeah, as a man who has to learn, who's been trying to learn how to braid hair better, because just in
what
general.
kinds of braids? I need to look at those again, because I wondered. I guess they're a French braid. Maybe
they're French braid. I think it's a French braid.
Yeah, because they're so tied up on the head like that. That's a French braid. Yeah.
And like they did a really good job in terms of just how the layers work and for the colors as well, because like the colors can only cover the braids rather than necessarily covering the whole hair and the right style. Because
like, how many games have you played where like the braids, like literally it's just highlight on, it's not like woven in, like they're weaving it. They weave the hair. They don't just put hair together and color it like
they don't do the like wig style. They don't do the wig style where like they make a base wig and then they have like a clip that you can like put into the wig to make it look like it's braided.
Like it's strands of hair interacting with each other, you know?
Yeah.
So it's pretty baller.
So that, and of course the tattoos, and I was not expecting the piercings. Those are all look very interesting.
The tattoos makes me wonder if maybe there's more makeup looks that can come around too, because there's like stuff I would do with makeup that I would never tattoo, but like I would put like, you know, like around how like what's it, Coramore, Space Valentines, as my friend John calls it every time I talk about it. But put like a little heart like on the cheek, like I do that every year, and I love like little details like that in makeup, or like a beauty mark. I would love like a couple little makeup like details like that are just like random placements of something. Like a little heart, a little, maybe you have like a little, you know.
CIG may be watching you. They watch all of us all the time, because did you not see the heart on the cheek that they had?
Right, but that's a tattoo.
Yeah, true.
That's a tattoo.
I'm talking about like temporary, like something that's more makeup based. Not even
like something that could run if I'm sad.
Oh,
because stupid space boys made me cry.
Or get dirty and rub off.
That would never happen.
No, mascara made in Lorville.
Yeah, no, but like, no, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's cool. Like, I would use the tattoo for that for sure. But I would like to be able to like remove that stuff. So, I mean, I guess I just have to make the same character with like different versions of the tattoos or whatever. But it would be cool if there was like a little more, like more than 6 makeup, like eyeshadows, more than 6. You know, lip styles. Some of the lip styles are pretty like wild, to be honest. Like they're very, very crazy. And I'm like, oh man, I just want like a really good one that I could just blend. It's like a single color, but you can't.
I will say that is the one thing that I'd like to see them do a little bit more is makeup and how makeup is applied, because again, as a theater child, as a child of the theater. You learn about makeup a lot in theater, because for those who don't know, you can't see features from far away. And so you need to heavily accent your face with makeup to pull out the right things. Men and
like
women.
You look at stuff like what is it, the like the Chinese and like operas, like stuff like that, like especially in Asia, like they have those masks with like the huge, like very thick detail.
Yeah.
because the whole idea is like you're being seen from probably like 30 feet or something away.
Yeah.
And
lighting is
they're
not
just
great.
very expressive. It's like the same, like Greeks did the same thing. They have masks to express different emotions because there's so many people watching from far distances. So
And when you're dealing with something like Star Citizen, like, yeah, you can see little details, but like you still need to have that sort of that detail where you can pull things out because CIG is going for a more realistic look. So if you had something that was more like cartoony or like more like anime style or more like cell shaded, you wouldn't really need that much because it would just you could kind of see the face a little bit, features a little bit more. But they're going for more realism, and because they're going for more realism, the features can kind of just be without like details. And so I think CIG, one thing I would like to defend this is do a little bit more of those sorts of like more granular on the makeup and the colors need to become a little bit more less of a like I'm going out to a club in Berlin at 4 a.m. For a rave and more of a I got to go to work tomorrow. I got to go to work in 2 hours sort of thing. So
but also like I hope that like more body like obviously like body tattoos and things like that come along too, because like being able to do stuff with your character's body a bit more like that can be more subtle, right? Like it was like Jared made the joke like what are like neck tattoos say, man? like he has a point. I'm not saying it's true. I mean I've even dated a guy with neck tattoos and all that. So, no judgments any, but it does have like it is an aesthetic. It is a choice. It is a very bold choice.
And typically when somebody has a neck tattoo, they usually don't just have a neck tattoo. They usually have other tattoos that complement.
Yeah, they have a lot of other tattoos,
And that's usually that. Go ahead, Ray.
All right. Just real quick, in The Expanse, one of the reasons they have so many tattoos on their neck is because
oh right, yeah, I forgot about that.
They're always wearing undersuits. They're always wearing the equivalent of what we would call an undersuit. And if it's not on your face, it's not on your neck, people don't see it. The hairstyles they chose
I never
were designed
thought
to
about
fit
it like
inside
that.
helmets. Yeah, so like when you read the books, it's like it goes through a lot of that, and it does shine through a little bit in the show. Fantastic show, but the thing is, like over on the Star Citizen side, we're in the same kind of culture.
Yeah,
like
you're 100% right. I bow to that 100%. That is new information. Like that's a new perspective that I have been met with. That I'm like, oh, not that I'm not judging neck tattoos, but you put it in a new perspective where I'm like, that contextualizes a face tattoo in space more, even more to be more averaged out. Like it's maybe a kind of common thing.
If you're going to see somebody even on a daily basis, you're going to see them through the face shield. So
yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah.
And at most, they'll take the helmet off.
Yeah.
Like they hop onto your ship, they're shaking your hand, take the helmet off, and that's all you're going to see of them.
Yeah.
I do think there's still places because it's not just space; it's also ground based, and we have to have those sort of full body tattoos for people who want to go insane. But I agree, and the fun part is, if I remember correctly, the neck tattoos, which they actually did have a Belter neck tattoo as one of the things they showed off. It's clearly a Expanse inspired Belter neck tattoos. One of the reasons why they're so prominent in Belter culture is because early suits would burn your neck if you because they were like so tight, and so they would often have these marks around their neck. Brands, and so instead of having these brands, they wanted to either tattooed over them so that they could like make them look more stylish, or they wanted to wear them as a reminder of their culture of people who grew up in 0G.
Kind of like certain cultures that like what is it some Pacific cultures have like the tattoos.
The tattoos and they like, or like the piercings where like they would like, elongate their mouths or their ears. It's kind of similar sort of stuff.
That's pretty cool. And I hadn't thought about that too, but like I just
scarification, another one.
I mean, Pico, I guess it's very culturally relevant. I mean, I have a Pico on the back of my car.
We don't talk about the cult of the Pico, because if we talk about the cult of the Pico, the Pico cultists will destroy us. So they're Pico's dangerous. All right, let's talk about a little bit different. Let's talk about I think Red J was the last one I think we talked about. They showed off animals, and what are your first thoughts on the grazer?
So the right now, I think it's going to be closer to the Copion than it is to the Maruk. So the Copion's, as one person helpfully mentioned on one of my videos, they wrote "What the dog doing," which was the funniest thing I read in a while. So, because I have done videos exploring and showing the Copions in action and the Maruks, the flying ones, pterodactyl-looking things for those who haven't seen them. Just to give you a picture in your mind of what the dog doing and what the Jurassic Park doing, I guess you could say. But
it's so simple, but it's so good.
What the dog doing?
What's the dog doing?
So when you roll up on Copions, like it's an experience. Like that. First of all, because of the way the AI works, they're not like traditional. They're not like the Maruk Boyd things. They have their own AI. They each think a little bit, and they lock onto you. Like you're radar locked essentially by the animal because of the way it's set up right now. So when the first time you see the space cows is going to, for just to give you a picture of what you're seeing if you haven't seen the video of what CIG released previewing, you're going to roll up, you're going to get radar locked, and these creatures are going to respond to you in one way or another. I suspect if you're more aggressive, they're going to run away. I suspect if you're not, they're going to be pretty chill because that's how the Copions are mostly. Even though they're supposed to be hyper aggressive, I've gotten super close. I've even had one into my ship one time by accident, and the whole experience around the animals is truly amazing. I love New Babbage because you can just roll out anywhere and just drop in, and there's little icons showing where they are. So I'm looking forward to the grazers. I do like that. I'm I, I'm gonna take it a step further and suggest that maybe we'll be able to keep them at our outpost in the future. So that excites me a lot more than the Copions and the Maruks in that way. That's me speculating wildly. Okay, just getting it out there though.
Okay, how about you, Buster? Initial thoughts on the grazers?
Boy, let me tell you what. I'll tell you what right here, right now. I just want to get me a horse, and I need some rope, and I just want to make sure that them grazers is doing all right all the time. You got to run them across some people's land once in a while, because they grazers, they graze. We got rights. We got grazing rights.
Grazing rights.
Grazing rights. Just all right. You know, we going Ghost Riders in the sky, boys, like gals and non-binary pals. All right. But we're I've been playing RDR too. You know, I just then, and you know, I wondered because what they had woolly ones, which was cool. I love that. I thought that, and I was like, oh, so I could have a fur. Was so bad. Oh, I could have a fur later. But they're so pretty. I love the skulls. I love the exo. What is that kind of thing where they have a plate? It's like a plate. It's like an arm plate on an animal. It's the coolest. They are so cool. I bet they're super if you piss them off, they'd be 10 times meaner than Bodacious, the OG mean ass bucking bull. Look it up. Google it. It's worth a Google.
That is the most panhandle response that I've ever heard.
But man, I want one named Bodacious. I really do. I would become this is the new thing that I want to do in Star Citizen. If the grazers can buck, right? If they can buck, I want to raise bucking grazers and take them to the rodeo and make my money. Okay, if you don't know this about rodeo, real quick, bulls also compete and they gain bounty the longer they go without a full 8-second ride from a rider. Mm-hmm. So the longer, basically it's a record, a wrestling record, whatever. And the more that your bull is the greatest wrestler of all time, Dan Gable, the longer they go without like somebody winning against them or getting a ride, they end up like there's cowboys that have won millions of dollars from getting a ride on a bull that's had a bounty on it for a long time. So I was saying, like, I just want to raise bucking grazers, and I
I
just
get
want
it.
to do rodeos. I just want to do rodeos, and I'll make them the happiest grazers, you know. But sometimes they got to knock a cowboy off their back. That's the only price they have to pay for like the best snacks that you could give a Kazi grazer. Which I don't know what that would be, but I'm willing to learn.
I'm gonna tie this back into the customization as well, because one of the things that makes me really happy about the bucking grazers is this is, I don't know, maybe I am reading the tea leaves a little too hard. Maybe I have ingested too many copian horns, but like this seems like them adding this is because they want to add crafting in the near future. And so like taking a copian, killing it, skinning it, using all its innards and outards and making clothing and other things like that. But
yeah, and I thought about that too. Absolutely. I thought about like there's there could be materials like that, whether it's like obviously food products,
the hide for like clothing,
hide,
or for other stuff like backpacks or anything.
Again,
like that.
fur for winter clothes or winter, like lining. Like maybe they have like super badass wool or whatever it is. That's wool or hair or whatever. But it's so cool. Oh my gosh, they're so cool. And then like the other stuff's cool too. But the Kazi grazers are just the funniest and the best. And having to talk for like making a dev talk for like 15 minutes about space cows is. Like, look, I know a lot of people say a lot of things about Jared Huckabee, and I've said a lot of nice things, thank you very much, about Jared Huckabee, but like him and his people, they made a great episode of silliness that I love very much, and I appreciate.
I'd like to add one small thing. These type of animals, and to Paul's point about crafting, this is critical for when we finally get player outpost. Even if it's just a shack on the side of a planet, having the ability to suddenly make your own food and make some kind of product to help pay for the fuel you're going to need to get back in and out of Atmo all the time is like it's like the support structure you need to make it worth being there.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's cool. Like you basically add like you expand the game's economy to like greater, like, to more stuff to do in Star Citizen. Sorry.
I was gonna say as well. The other thing was that they mentioned a jungle Kazi Grazer. It's like, why are you making a jungle version of Kazi Grazer, CIG? But we don't have jungles in the game yet. May you be planning something? Put my conspiracy hat on.
I love critters.
I love critters.
I'm excited. I'm excited about all the critters.
I am too. I'm looking forward to all of the stuff that's going on, because this is obviously not going to be the only thing they're adding in 4.0. And I'm just glad that they're like, oh yeah, 3.23 we released 2 creatures. 4.0 we're releasing at least 1, if not 2 creatures. I could see every 2 patches them dropping more and more creatures over and over again. It looks good. So, all right, let's get into some of the more controversial takes.
Ooh, let's go.
I'm starting with you there, Buster, because this is a question that's brought up a lot that I've seen. I don't think it's a majority opinion, but there's definitely this question of why is CIG focusing on, customization for your character and space cows? Like, why does this matter?
Because it's just cool. Does there need to be a better answer than that? It's fucking cool.
I mean, no, that's a good appropriate response.
Simple answer. More, thought about answer. One, like, obviously, like, people want to like be able to see themselves in something once in a while, or something they specifically want to be, whether that's like, somebody who maybe like wishes they had like bigger and more blue hair. They can have bigger, more blue hair in a video game, and it doesn't affect like their life in a way where they have to go see a hairdresser. And you know, like in other expressions, right? Like a million other ways to express yourself, but it's important. And it's just like I would say to anybody who like it's like kind of says the same stuff like they're like I don't care about character customization, but I really care about ship customization. It's like the same thing. It's just a different kind of skin, baby. That's all it is. If you feel like when you're in a ship, you want that to be the representative of you more than who like the way you look as a character in the game. That's 100% valid, and that is a good criticism, right? Like it would be nice to have more personal customization in the ship customizer or in ships in general, not custom. There's a ship customizer, but you know what I'm saying. Like it would be nice. I agree, but the fact of the matter, like I said before, the whole paint thing, like it makes money. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm not going to argue against it or for it. It is what it is. What good about what I feel or think about it does anything to change it? I just want more. That's really it. At cheaper prices. I don't want to spend $30 on skins when I should be spending like $15. Not that I devalue the work at all, but like if there's a lot of them, I want a lot of them. But anyway, I don't know, you know. But the point being is this stuff's important because it makes people feel more at home at the end of the day. That's what it's about. Do you feel at home? Are you having fun? Is this fun for you? Is this a fun aspect of the game for you? Cool. Is this not a fun aspect of the game for you? That's fine. But don't justify your like don't use your dislike of something to justify the validity or the desire that others have, like, or how they feel about it or whatever, right? Like don't go, oh, it's pointless, when there's a lot of people who feel like it's not. It benefits their gameplay and their life, maybe even in some way. Boom. And it, like that's that there again. Short answer, it's cool. Longer answer, summarize, just let people live.
Be happy. Let people be happy.
It's important. It also attracts other demographics of the game that clearly don't exist, because I can tell, well, not don't exist, but are low. I mean, I can tell you as a player, as a lady player, okay, that I've made more, like, again, we were talking about the face maker. I've made more male faces. I've had more requests for male faces than I've had for feminine faces, right? So that alone is like, I probably have like 10% women and 90% men in my files. And that's the way that's the indicative of the proportion of the community. Now, does it mean, oh no, they're gonna bring all girls over here and they're gonna run Star Citizen with the pretty hair? Okay, like chill out. It's fine. You're fine. We all like to fight each other. It's fine. And do whatever and have a good time. But at the end of the day, like, the more people that play the game, the more potential the game has for success. Because I don't know if you heard of Baldur's Gate 3. I'm not saying they're at all the same game, but there was a lot of cool options to look cool and have some cool moments in that game. Like, and who really liked that game? Who do you think about like when you imagine a Baldur's Gate player? What do they look like?
Terminally online D&D players.
Do they look like a woman most of the time?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of...
A lot of them look like women to a lot of people, because they like it is a very popular game with women.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, girls can like stuff, and I'm not trying to make a big argument about this, but it goes just from that perspective. And there's a dozen other perspectives like that, where they say, well, the more people that feel comfortable in the game, the more they want to play the game. Whatever. Yeah. It's not the end. It's not the only reason to play Star Citizen. It's never that argument. It's just, it's a detail that matters for a multitude of reasons. I'll shut up.
You're right. No, you're 100% right. I think it's important to kind of illustrate that like there is a barrier to entry for some people, where like you never know what's going to make someone go, I like this game, or, oh, I get it now. When I was playing Star Wars Outlaws, I was trying to like the game. I was like, it's not really my game. I guess it's good. It's got weird things here and there. And then after a while, I kind of enjoyed myself more and more. But I didn't really know that I enjoyed the game until I sat down and played a fully realized version of the game Sabak from the universe. I was like, oh, I'm having fun. This is fun. I'm enjoying myself. And that may sound weird, but you never know how people play video games. There's an entire gameplay series of videos. I can't remember who did it, but it's called Monster Factory, where they just boot up a game and then all they do is make characters in the game, and like that's content, and people will watch that because it's just people hanging out and making characters. But yeah, like it's always important to kind of highlight those facts when I hear those. But I'll ask Red J the same question. Why is the character creator important? Why should we care about it?
I'm gonna keep my answer short.
Okay.
Because you Buster hit on a lot of gold, but this was like just when you first start an oil derrick and all the oil spreads everywhere. It's just flying everywhere. She hit a lot of good points, so I'm gonna keep it short. I fully support everything she said, and I agree. And Paul, I agree that everybody plays the games differently. How they kind of feel matters, and how they feel about it. And I think that's the important part is that you feel some kind of connection with the character you make, and a little bit of you don't have to risk your career or how you feel in real life, and you can express yourself in many different ways. I think one of the things that is going to be exciting to me is over time, as things become more mature with the character creator, and uh, uh, the bigger thing that excites me is like when we finally get at least one alien species. I'm not gonna dive into that rabbit hole,
Yeah.
but if people are concerned about the creativity and customization of the character creator now, I can't wait to see their reactions when we have another species. I'll just leave it there.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, I ain't thinking. Oh yeah. Like, are you like? Do you have cool like purple highlights on your bark as a Banu, or are you like more blue? You know.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna say the also the quiet part out loud with when it comes to this sort of thing. Just because it's not your feature doesn't mean it's not somebody else's feature.
Right.
Just straight up.
Yeah.
The people who are making your character customizers, you don't want them making server meshing. You don't want them making your Idris or your whatever. Just it's such a tired argument I've heard so many times, and it's not. This isn't this is a shit tester. This is you giving an explanation. No, y'all. This is the reality of the situation. They're not going to hire 5,000 people to fix the game. Just to do whatever the fuck fix the game is. Whenever I hear fix your game, it's like, what do you want? What do you want fixed? Like, well, I game broke. Like, okay, be more specific, please. And
yeah, because Star Citizen has the potential to be the kind of game that like sometimes it really can be operator error. I have blamed the game when I realized, oh wait, it was me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And the reality is that it's an MMO. All right. It needs to have a robust customer characteristics. I would argue that I think CIG needs to figure out how to make it so that you can have full feature character creator from not just the face, but your body proportions, everything. Full feature. They need that in the future, and they need to expend resources for that. Do they need to do the same thing with like ships? Yes. With armor? Yes. With clothing? Yes. All of those things need that, because not only are they revenue streams in some cases, but they're going to give you free publicity, because someone's going to say, I made Samuel L. Jackson, or I made Markiplier, or I made insert person here. And that's going to, and they make that picture, it turns into a tweet or a post somewhere on some social network. And that gets the attention of the publicist of that person, who then tweets it out. And now suddenly a bunch of people who didn't know what the heck Star Citizen is now know what Star Citizen is, and are like, what is this game that I've been hearing about Star Citizen? Because that's the sort of thing that happens when you do stuff like this. That's why you do it, is because it gives player agency, but it also will improve the game overall and even get more visibility. So
Wait until CIG finds the gold mine that is custom premium underwear and swimsuits.
Oh no!
I-
Don't make me pay money for underwear. I pay enough money in real life.
You know what? I think we talked about this
Don't.
last time. We talked about it last
Don't
time.
encourage them.
What they need to do is let us swap out our underwear.
Yes. I want different colors for different pairs.
Yes. You need you need different styles too, because people want to, like, you may never see it, but someone's going to be very particular about what style and where they do it, because that's important, you know. But you know, there's also lots of other things, like, for instance, they should probably encourage you to wear your clothing more than your armor everywhere, and that's a different discussion. All right, we've been talking for an hour, which is like that's that didn't feel like we've been talking an hour. But I'll leave us off with the last question, which is, where do you want to see CIG go from here? From what we've seen that they're planning on doing with 4.0, what would you like to see in terms of customization, armor, clothing, ships, anything else like that? Red J, I'll start with you.
Okay, well, we just got the ATLS, and I'm not going to go down yet another rabbit hole, but I'm very excited about customization that is like beyond what we already have. I would love to see more. I'm going to keep it to the topic, so I'm bad at this, but flight suits and things like that. I'd love to see a new kind of suit or a specialized suit that works with those type of devices. So as we see more of these specialized niched vehicles, people can instantly look at you and see that you're a specialist in that unit, and that maybe that gives you a small advantage, something like extra damage modifier protection, extra heat resistance when you're wearing the suit. Just like every other vehicle, I'd love to see riding gear as well for hover bikes, but that's a topic for another day.
Buster, what would you like to see in the future going forward?
With the character customizer, more. More. I've said before, like, I feel like I hit a lot of walls when it comes to the male side of things, because I've done so much of it that I've really felt it. I feel like the more feminine side is better, but yeah, just more faces, more skin textures. Please, for the love of God, put a true red in there. Put some primary colors in some of the makeup. Like, I feel like there's some decent primary choices for every color except red. Red is only pinks and browns and rouge. It's rouge. It ain't roja. Okay.
Thank you.
So
Not real Roja. That's right.
yeah, we ain't getting the roja in there. And we need the roja. So yeah, like, that's a small detail, but that's like my biggest gripe with the makeup. Overall, like, I'm excited for new hair. I just really want a bit bigger diversity of facial features. Huge like, I really hope there's a lot more facial features added, and just faces to the mixing board, so to speak. And then on both ends, but especially on the masculine side of things, because it's just yeah. But overall, it's awesome. I can't wait. I'm sure they implied, which I feel like I heard them say something along the lines of, like, we can't show you everything.
Yeah.
So there are going to be things that maybe we have said here in this chat, right here, that are actually on the way, and we just don't know it. So that's what I hope. I really hope that there is more stuff coming along, that way more than that, because just more stuff, more face stuff, and also more animals and Kazi Grazer.
Yeah.
I'm ready to hang out with the Kazi Grazers and listen to them make cool sounds and just be cool, just peaceful.
When Lando said, "Do they mourn their dead?" My only thought was the Klingon mourning ritual. where they
yeah.
they gather around the dead and then scream into the sky all at once.
It's a really valid question because elephants mourn their dead.
Yeah.
And I think you could liken a Kazi grazer to something between maybe like a cow, an elephant, and a rhinoceros.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I can see it.
Something like that. But yeah, I'm excited.
I will say that what I would really like them to see, because I've obviously born a character creator, and I want them to, I don't know, I need more skins for the ATLS, because I need them to do a Optimus Prime skin, blue with red flames. It's not only an Optimus Prime, but I think that was also Megas XLR. Was that one as well? So,
I've never been a big mech person, but that preview really cracked. Like, that made me laugh so hard. What she said.
Yes.
I was like,
where you want it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's an Aliens reference, but yeah, I get why you can be a little
thought
weird.
so. I immediately was like, is that an Aliens reference? But it was just
so
funny. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say.
All right. But the other thing I think that CIG needs to really take another look at is armor customization and ship customization. Specifically, ship. You said the ship customizer. I think they need that. I think they need a ship customizer feature.
Agreed.
For us to, because the skins are nice, but having control over the locations of the paint and doing it in game rather than just being a store feature. It's okay to sell these things because that's how you make money, and that money then goes to fund your development and keep your lights on and making sure your developers can eat and that sort of thing. But it's a video game. It needs to be able to be played and unlocked and that kind of stuff. So,
for the paint, I just want to mention, like, of all games, BDO, Black Desert Online, nailed it. Where you could do like multiple colors of paint. They had a premium paint that was like shiny and special colors that was like premium. Mm-hmm. And then there was other paints that you could earn in game or find them in game.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be super cool. Find ones in game.
And then there was
special
just like
shops.
Yeah, and you can mix and match paints. You could choose like, okay, I want this on my armor, on my outer part of my armor, and interior, the chest, the lining of the stuff under the armor, like the havoc or whatever it's called. Like it was well done.
Yeah, I have a feeling like something like that would be in Squadron, right?
Yeah, I can see something like that.
I feel like you're probably gonna have like the garage gameplay of Squad, or the hangar gameplay, where you really are like sitting in the hangar and you're kind of figuring out, okay, what's this new mod I'm putting on? Where I mean, we have that in the game, but it's gonna be more like organized, I think, in Squadron. It's gonna be more like you're at the station, so this is what they have available. You don't have to go to like 5 shops. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows?
I don't think they'll necessarily do the paint customization in Squadron, because you are like military man on military mission, or military person on military mission.
And you get like little things that you can put like from battles you were in, like basically like decals
tokens
or patches.
Or like
yeah. Like things like emblems you can put on your stuff.
I think the reason why we don't have it yet is because it's not a priority because of Squadron. But I feel like now that Squadron is clearly reaching a finishing point with all the things they've been telegraphing about Squadron and the site update that they recently did, then I believe they're in a situation where while that's being wrapped down, that should be the next priority of like, because again, your character is important, your clothing should be important, your armor and your ships should also be important as well. I think this is the time to begin to dial that in so that you can have people who are like, hey, I have my reflective shiny paint that I got, but it's premium, but I can also just go do and get red. You can go earn red from Hurston Dynamics because they have red paint that I can use.
There's a million ways to implement how you get them.
Yeah.
It's just, will they be there?
Yeah, or just buy them because paints are expensive.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to wrap up our discussion for today. We'll be moving on to our question and answer session. I did release the question and answer session yesterday last one as a separate video, and it did fairly well. So people were definitely checking into the question and answer session. So if you do enjoy this and you want to see that, I will release it a couple of days after this goes live. So this is going to go live on Sunday, my Sunday, and then the question and answer session will go live on either Tuesday or Wednesday. Probably Wednesday would be my guess. And that will be at youtube.com/TheAstroPubLive. And I will not, this full VOD will be linked in the description, but above Buster's head, you will see the link for the question and answer session once that goes live. So if you don't see a link up there, it means that it's not live. But if you do, that's where it is. And also try to update the I'll update the description as well with the question and answer session dedicated if you like that as well. But thank you for hanging out. Make sure you check out Buster the Destroyer and Red J on their social medias. It's like Buster Destroyer on YouTube.
Yeah, Buster Destroyer. If it's not Buster the Destroyer, it's Buster Destroyer.
And it's Red J everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with that all being said, thank you for watching. Make sure you check us out live at twitch.tv/TheAstroPub, youtube.com/TheAstroPub live. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, like the video if you enjoyed this, and of course your comments down below. Keep it civil, I should say. And yeah, thank you for watching. And like I say every time, hope to see you someday in the black.